Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to VDRL. It's time, for VDRL, it's time for round 6 of our Season 10 Championship in F1 25. Hello in the coach. My name is Josh Harris. Alongside me, who'll be joining me in a minute, is Ned. So he'll be joining me in a couple of minutes' time. And down in the pit lane for us this evening, with all of the analysis and the strategy, we have YB Master G. Alongside me in the pit lane, as it is round 6, we reached the United States Grand Prix here at Texas. Now, as the results of last week in Silverstone, the results, I can find the channel, I think I lost it. It was Kevin Van Dijk won by Rubens Jimenez, followed by Nico-san Remus Rowe, Toro 5th, Freebie 6th, he had a 10-second time penalty. Albert Elite 7th, Melbourne VG 8th, Lucas at 9th, Wormer 10th, Face HT 11th, SH Ruby 9th, State Daisy 13th, Cairo 14th, Pim Shooter, Osman 6th, Serban, Anime F1, and G-Man Gaming all DNF. As for the standings of the championship, here it goes like this. Kevin Van Dijk currently leads us on 294 points. Tias 12 points behind 192. And it's Toro in 3rd, Rimas in 4th, State 5th, Freebie 6th. And then we got Lucas at 7th, Face HT 8th, Melbourne 9th, ACM 10th, Serban 11th, Ruben 12th, Nixon 13th, Just Jacob 14th, Osman 15th, Boaty 16th, Alta 17th, Wormers 18th, Soren 19th, and Mulu 20th. And then we have G-Man, do we have G-Man 21st, Nixon 22nd, Pimshua 23rd or something. That's 24, Mario Cat 25th, Master 8, Ralph 26th, Anime 27th, Lucas 28th, Not Nathan 29th, Michael AB 30th, and Microsoft 31st. As for the team standings, it is Red Bull on top, followed by Sauer. They got a 200-point gap between the top two. It's Red Bull from Sauer, from McLaren, Raceball 4th, Williams 6th, Haas 6th, Asmine 7th, Ferrari now 8th, Alpine 9th, and Mercedes in 10th place. And we have a grenade on at the end of the pit lane. We are underway for qualifying for round 6 of the championship. Hope you all are doing well on this fine Friday evening, on this beautiful F1 weekend as well. As we do see no one coming on track just yet, we have a full grid line for you for 18 minutes. For you in this moment of time, and we do see drivers coming out of the pit lane. We already have retirement. Pin Shooter has already retired. It was a great race down at Silverstone last week, but we do see drivers coming out on the pit lane, and the first driver to take to the track is our championship leader, that is Kevin Van Dijk, in the Red Bull on the soft compound of tyres. So this will be an interesting 18 minutes of qualifying, as Kevin Van Dijk did absolutely brilliant in Silverstone Reverse from round 5 of the championship. And we do have a special race tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2:45 p.m. we'll be live for YouTube. Will be our 1,000 member race. Tomorrow is a special race to celebrate 1,000 members on Discord. So join us tomorrow around 2:45 p.m. We'll be live on YouTube for all the action for today and tomorrow. And back to the track. We know who's winning. Kevin's gonna fly, G-Man. Yeah, Kevin Van Dijk is on strong form lately, as we were watching him down the straight. And my phone's reminding me there's half an hour to go to a free practice for the IRL US Grand Prix. And now we have 2 DRS zones around this track, right on board with him at this moment of time. So one lap wonder as it's going to come in to now. And we have another retirement now. Serban also retiring, probably for a qualify. I'm not sure. There were some penalties. There were 10-second penalties for one driver in particular in last week's race, as we're on board with Kevin Van Dijk. And I'll take you around the lap here at Texas, at Coulter. You start the lap, DRS wide open. You go around 200 and you go over just under 200 miles an hour, 189 miles an hour as you head on top of the hill. Kilometers you'll see on the streamer. Head on to turn 2 into turn 3, and now we go into the S's. Just like so, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and then go straight to turn 4, 5, 6, 7, back-to-back corners into 8. Now down into turn 9 for 24/7 for the first sector, turn 10. Looking strong as Kevin Vidike rounds it in, looking at the car, speeds it pretty well down there, and probably that might have been Ruben Hernandez in the McLaren getting out of the way of Kevin Van Dijk. Toro is still in the pit lane. We have a yellow flag down the final sector. That's going to be driving out of the way. First DRS zone of the lap. 204, 205 miles an hour with ERS, assisted with DRS as well. Into the left, I forgot what corner this is, and now it's just pretty much corner after corner after corner until you get through the DRS zone in the first sector. Flick it to the right, flick it to the left. Make sure you don't go wide, because track limits can be, it can be annoying for drivers to lose their lap time on the soccer motor as expected. Heading around into the final sector for the last couple of corners. Into the penultimate corner we go here, going around 10%, almost goes wide on the exit of the corner, into the final corner. Is then Kevin Van Dijk might win this? Who knows, as Kevin Van Dijk will set the time for 1:31.023. That's what they're in for pole position here tonight in Texas. So here it is, we are watching Tias in Red Bull, his teammate, cross the line 1:31.3. Dennis we're 1:34.009. We are watching Melvin in the Williams. Now, round in the final corner, he'll jump up into 1:31.720. Now, watching Ruby in the Kick Sauber as he rounds the final corner, he'll jump to 4th, 1:33.524 after his lap time. Now, we are seeing drivers come in and out, and we are now Werner in the Haas. Now through into the final corner, 1:33.295. That time. We are on board now with the McLaren of Ruben Hernandez in the middle sector. Now, Ryan on board with the McLaren. Ruben did absolutely amazing here. Not here, at Silverstone last week. At Silverstone, making sure we're all good on Discord time. Yep, we're good. Good with that. Purple middle sector, that might come up a lot, that's his first middle sector time. As Ruben Hernandez trying to keep in it. He is on low fuel though, so he might have a bit of lower fuel load. Let's see what you can do round the right. Keep it on a straight line. Penultimate corner, you don't want to go wide. Over the curb. Lovely as he comes out the exit, as he crosses the line. Bit of a correction to 1:31.284 separates the Red Bulls, but it is still Kevin Van Dijk on pole position so far. Still got plenty of time to go now. Remus goes that time deleted, so this time won't come up at all. So we're going to find out who we're on board with next. Toro is about to start his flying laps, using the cars getting out of the way of each other. The Alpine, the Alpine boxes of Elite. No, I'm sorry, the other Alpine, where is he? Of Alex Cargo. Alex Cargo, 79 on the lap, 30% ERS now. 200 miles, they fly down this part of the track. Exits the straight, hit the middle sector. He's on a brilliant lap so far. Let's see, middle sector, obviously it's going to say that on the track map near the bottom, near on the right hand side of your screen. There are social medias. Do you follow us on the social medias? That is Discord, YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok at VD Racing League. All social medias. Apart from Twitch, we don't use Twitch. We're live on YouTube. Through the final corner comes in the Alpine across the line. 1:31.610 for his lap time. Now Toro. Hopefully we're going to watch him now. And, yeah, Toro is on lap time at the moment. Let's hope we can go on board with him. With 11 minutes to go left of this qualifying session. We are watching. Yeah, we are watching. We are right. We are on board with Toro in the McLaren. Now Toro has an amazing race here at Silverstone last weekend. Let's see, Toro into the final two corners with 10 minutes to go left of qualifying. Around the final corner, use all this deployment. It's a 1:31.674 goes 5th fastest on that time. Now we seem to have Remus do the lap time. It goes up to 9th fastest, the 1:32.655. As Dutchy is about to complete his lap time into the final corner. I won't see him, but we are watching him. Stays 15th fastest, 1:34.390. 10 minutes remaining. So Trevor, Kevin Van Dijk still on pole position. We are currently watching Dutchy as he's had a mistake coming on top of the I think his lap time. We are watching our Anime F1. He's close lap time deleted. He's not on that, and at this moment of time, so we'll watch the server of base HST in the server. 9.5 minutes to go, almost way into this qualifying session here in Kota, round 6 of the championship. Into the right, into the right, left, right, into the right once again. Of the time, it's 21.9 first sector. It's a competitive first sector. He almost makes a mistake coming out of the corner, and it's going to lap time deleted, going just a little bit wider. Would allow you to do so. So here's Kevin Van Dijk still on pole. He's on an out lap. Can he improve that lap time? No one's challenging. TS currently P3. Ruben still is in P2. TS is about to start his lap as Nedso joins me in the commentary box for the remainder of qualifying. Good evening, Nedso.
Hello, we are here at Kota, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting little circuit to be involved in. So who's looking good at the moment?
Kevin Van Dijk is on pole by Ruben in McLaren. TS starting his lap at the moment in P3. Separated by 0.3 of a second. It's close in the top 3.
It is indeed. As you rightly said, we are on board with TS now. He looked like he missed the apex through turn 1, but now through the S's, completely flat out. You've got to be just so consistent and so close to track limits as well. You can see him. He's hovering right over those white lines, and nicely done through the first set. It didn't look like the best of lines, and he wasn't pushing it 100%, but he's definitely pushing it at least 90% to try and get that car turning over the bumps here at Kota. Here we go, taking the short line down this straight. It isn't fully straight, but you can sort of see where the curve in the road is. He's going to brake just at the 100-meter board over that inside curve. It didn't go invalid. That is a corner like Baku. The turn, I think it's turn 7 at Baku. You can get away a lot with track limits there. And here into one of my favourite corners on the entire F1 calendar, because it's one of the only places where you can overtake and it's not preceded by a massive long straight, because it's got a load of different lines you can take. Now coming through turn 18, that was modelled on turn 8 at Istanbul Park, and now into turn 19 and the final corner of the circuit for Tiaz here. A little bit of a wiggle coming out the final corner, and that is a 1:31.0. It is close to the fastest time set by Kevin, but I think we're going to see that turn tumble.
There we go, 1:30.927 for Kevin Van Dijk, 1/10 of a second ahead of Tiaz. He is flying out there, but Ruben Hernandez, Ruben in the McLaren also on a lap time limit. He is down though in the first sector. We've not seen tyres from Boaty or from Anime F1 and from Base. They're struggling out there. Track limits.
Yeah, track limits are a bit of a problem around this circuit, just because of the high speeds and because you have to get right up to the track limits if you want to get the best of lap times. So we will see a lot of track limits issues in the race, and especially considering that this game is having issues with track limits and corner cutting. So where people get multiple warnings for just one little off-track excursion, which could cause some problems, but I doubt we'll see any of the top drivers affected by that. as we come through the final sector on board with Ruben here. He found his form in the previous race. I can't remember which circuit we were at, but I remember he was
reverse.
Silverstone reverse. I remember that now. He was right up in the top 3, and it was good to see him back on form because a multiple-time champion like him shouldn't have been having the form that he did. I mean, that was a 1 minute 31.9. I'm not sure if that was a proper push lap from him, but he's going to be wanting to properly improve. And here's Boaty. So, pole sitter in Miami and a very mercurial driver, we'll say, when it comes to racecraft and racing. But we'll want to see what Boaty can do here in Austin, Texas, as we round the tricky left-hander and into here. Nicely done from him. You see the drivers, they take that inside line. They try and minimise the distance travelled through that corner. Whereas he did get his lap time deleted there. That's unfortunate.
As well. Slides into the pit lane. Interesting enough. I don't think we were expecting him to go into the pit like that, as Anime F1 almost spins coming out for the first DRS zone as well, interestingly enough. So they are really struggling.
Yep, I'll tell you who is trying not to struggle though is Toro. That was very close to track limits for the McLaren driver. Currently a few tenths off of his teammates' time and not in that battle for the time position. He's decided to come into the pit lane. It is a very strange pit lane entry here because it goes uphill and it's kind of an awkward braking zone, so if you get it wrong, you are going straight into that outside wall, and it's obviously not ideal to do that. Vastus hasn't sat a lap at the moment, and will be looking to at least get something on the board before the end of the session, because he's one of only 3 drivers who are still on track without any sort of bans or any sort of issues. And as I say that, Anime has just got on to Sate 37.6. I'm going to hope for his sake that that is not a competitive lap time, that is just him doing a prep lap. Because if it is, then
I think it is, because he made a huge mistake.
Okay,
I think that's push that, so yeah, that's Booty.
That's fine. A huge mistake is fine. A huge mistake is fine. Vastus up to P9 there. Remus, that was very close to being invalid there, but Remus goes to 9th instead and replaces Vastus in the start there. As Melvin has decided to retire from the session. Maybe he's not got enough tyres left, or he's looking to save some for the race. But yeah, it is cloudy over the circuit here in the Circuit of Americas. I don't think I know we have had a wet race here before. 2015 was a wet race here around the Circuit of the Americas. That was when Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg did battle in these famous corners. A lot of these corners obviously are modelled off of real life of sections from other circuits like that. S's section we just went through is modelled off of Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. I believe Turn 1 is modelled on Spa at Lasso, sorry, at Spa. Yeah. We're just coming in towards out of his hairpin now, and it is Dutchy we're on board with. Dutchy is a name I have not heard in a while in VDRL.
Oh.
He is one of the OGs of this league, for those who are not aware. He has been around since, I'm not sure if it's been around since season 1, but definitely around since the earlier seasons of VDRL. It's good to see him back, and we always love to see returning drivers. Speaking of the corners we were talking about, that is modelled off of Turn 9 and 10 at Bahrain. We talked about Turn 8 at Istanbul, and yeah, there's a generally good layout. It's good for all categories. I would actually argue that it's actually worst for F1 out of all the categories that drive here, which is frustrating. But Dutchy across the line then stays P16 but improves his lap time. Regardless of his lap times, it's good to see such a legendary name. Legendary name is a bit of an overstatement, but such a popular name.
Yeah, we do see the top 3 on track though. That is Kevin Van Dijk, TS, and Ruben out on track right now for one final push. Boaty is on an outlap as well. I'm not surprised to see the top 3 as it is right now, but Ruben's up there. Because before we had said in the past that his pace has been dropping off, especially in Miami, but his pace now is up there.
His pace definitely is up there, and I'll tell you what, I think that these two Red Bull drivers have something to prove because they are both very close to each other. Tiaz 1.5 tenths behind his teammate. He's got now onto a flying lap here. I saw some imperfections in his previous run, and that was a much better approach to the turn 1 corner as we come flying through the first part of the S's now. He's going to keep that foot planted to the floor here. Look at that, over the curves, over the white lines, like it's nothing. A little lift through the left-hander, a little lift and a dab of the brakes through the right. Flat out through the left, keeps the car stable, keeps it consistent and keeps it going. It said there was a purple first sector. I'm not exactly sure of the split times, but we will see as when we come to the second sector split just how well he's doing. That was a decent enough exit through the exit of the hairpin, takes a slipstream from the slowing Mercedes there, which I think was Osman, as we come down towards the sector 2 split will be around here somewhere. I believe it's off the exit of this corner.
Right here.
Indeed. It is right indeed. 39 thousandths of a second down on his previous best. So currently, Kevin is in the hot seat, but can Tiaz pull something out of the bag in this last sector? Someone's off in front of him, but that will not affect his lap time. He's got all of the opportunities here. He will have to send it if he wants to take a provisional pole position here. But I have a feeling that Kevin might usurp him, even if he does that, because he's been on fire in this session. Let's see what Tiaz does. Up to the line.
Oh.
He is not pole position. It's close, but it's not close enough. Kevin goes even better at 1:30.6. That is a very, very competitive lap time there. Can Ruben do anything to match or beat Kevin? I very much doubt it, but because Ruben isn't the strongest of qualifiers in this game or in VDRL in general, but can he do something to beat one of his long-term rivals in this league? Can he stop him? No, he can't, but he can go second. That was a very good lap time from Ruben. And, well, I mean, on the evidence of that, we're going to have a very close race. 70 thousandths of a second, sorry, 61 thousandths of a second between first and second on the grid.
Yeah, if Kevin didn't improve, we'd be saying Ruben's on pole, but that is very close indeed. 61 thousandths of a second back. That is close. For qualifying, for how's his race pace though? That's the difference between qualifying and the race.
We will see just how that transpires in due course. But yes, indeed, we have Kevin Van Dijk on pole with 61 thousandths of a second back to second place. Ruben Huertas. Tiaz Korsman in third place, followed by Alex Caru-Goat, Nico Sun, Melvin, Toro, Arbiter, Remus, Vastus rounding out the top 10. Then it's Luzcek, Werner, Osman, Froby, Yensier, Ducci, Anime, Serban, Pimshooter, and Boti are the 3 drivers who have not set a valid lap time in this session. Well, hopefully we'll see Boti coming through the pack because he's such a fast driver. But lots of chaos, lots of excitement, and lots of action will lie ahead in this race. Quick predictions before we get going from yourself, Yoshi?
It's going to be close for Kevin Van Dijk. People on the YouTube channel have said he might win, but looking at the clouds, are we expecting a wet race? Okay,
I don't know. I'm not sure if we can get. I'm not sure if we can get anything from the drivers there on that one, but it's definitely cloudy. So track temperatures will be down, which will actually help the drivers in a way because this circuit, I'm guessing, will heat up the tyres through long prolonged cornering, and they don't really have a chance to breathe. So cooling the tyres via track temperature might benefit them. So we might see a mixture of strategies: 2 stops, 1 stops. I'm not sure if Kota is one of the circuits when you can perform a 1 stop. I think probably so. But we are gearing up for the start of what hopes to be an amazing race. We have a hairpin for turn 1. So if the driver on the inside gets a strong getaway, we could be seeing some early overtake, some early action, and maybe the race decided on lap 1. We don't like to see that, but I mean, track position is so important in this game because of dirty air and because of inability to follow. I mean, if there's any section of corners that you will not be able to follow through, it's the S's and the entire final sector. But here we go. We've got the countdown. You can hear the beeping in your ear. We are getting ready for the start of this race. Who's excited? I'm definitely excited for the beginning of this event. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Kota. We are go, 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 go. Who's going to get the best start off the line? I think that's Ruben who has got the best start, but he's managed to tuck in behind Kevin. It's turn one. No, he hasn't. He's gone for the move and he's got P1. That's a fantastic little move from him there. Damage and contact further behind, but I think that was a glitch there from the game. That's wide going Alex Carew, who's been forced off there, I believe, by Toro. I may have got that wrong, but there's a spinning Ferrari in the background. That was Pimp Shooter. He's ready to keep it all going, but yes, it's Kevin. Wait, Kevin has reassumed the lead. Kevin has reassumed the lead from Ruben. I'm not sure how he's done that, but he has done. Melvin has spun off at the end of the essence. That's a damn shame for him because he qualified near towards the front. But Ruben is harrying the back of Kevin there. He's going to try and get a move, I think, down in towards this hairpin corner. What can he do? Is he going to peek to the inside, peek to the outside? Not just anything yet. He's decided to sit back and wait for a better opportunity. But there's one of the Racing Bulls attempting to advance. Remus on the inside of Alex Carew. Nicely done from Remus there, but as Alex Carew going to have the inside for the next corner, and he's going to have to make sure he completes that move in a safe and fair manner. He has done. Perfect job from him there. I'm surprised I haven't seen any overtakes into this corner. What were you about to say, Yoshi?
Also, the lead fell down. He's 9 positions down so far. He's qualified 8. He's now down in 17, trying to go around the outside of Pim shooting for 16th place, but trying to stay faulty as well. Let's see, most of them on the hard compound tyres, well, most on mediums, bar 2 drivers, that is Tias and Faulty. Everyone else has gone the medium compound tyre.
Yeah, so not very much variation in strategy. Melvin into the pit lane, so I'm guessing he must have had foot wing damage from whatever contact happened on that first lap. Boaty starting on the hards. That's probably a clever idea. It's very difficult to overtake it, so if you're not going to be able to get past people, it's best to waste a set of hards that aren't very fast and instead like save your time, save your tyres, and you can also go longer than the guys around you. I'm not sure if we're having any activity or lagging issues as we come towards the middle part.
Oh, contact! Him shooting us one round because of I didn't see who it was, but he got forced wide from Altura, maybe. I might be wrong. In the LP.
I'm not exactly sure there. We'll have to maybe look at that after the race. But Kevin is overtaken. Kevin and Ruben are fighting over first place. Let's go to them. And that is Ruben taking the lead then in towards this last sector. This is going to be a good battle between the pair of them as we come through on towards. We're going to start lap 3 soon. Yellow flag, but I think that has been resolved.
That was anime. Sorry.
And yes, this is going to be an interesting race because these two are clearly, I mean, Nicholson's keeping with them fairly well, but other than that, they are in a league of their own. And I mean, I think Tiaz is actually conveniently holding up a bit of a train behind him. He's now out of DRS range too, Nicholson in front, so I think that is him. He's going to be holding up guys like Toro, Remus, Alex Carew, just basically making their day a lot harder.
It is, Toro really wants to go ahead of him now, but the advantage goes to Toro potentially. Unless the TS is master at defending, Toro will probably overtake down on that long straight in that first 1 or 2 DRS around this, like we are about to approach it in a short time. But can Toro get a better exit than Tiaz for the advantage with DRS?
We will see, and another thing we will see is can Kevin return the favour on Ruben down this straight. He's got a good amount of battery and he's deploying it down this straight. He's not deploying it a lot though, so I think he's going to stay behind for now and just wait for a better opportunity to come around. But I'll tell you who isn't waiting for a good opportunity to come around. It's Toro further behind, who has indeed overtaken Tiaz into the turn 12 hairpin there. Good move from him. He needed to get that move done, especially with those guys in front. They were pulling away from him and Tiaz. So nice. And then yellow flags as Melvin. His day is going from bad to worse to even more worse. I don't know how that's possible. He's spun in the right at the start of the second sector.
And he's on the fresh air hard, so like you said, it's gone bad to worse. he needs a safety car so he can get back up. But right now, that's not really going to happen because it's so far. There was a bit of contact, but Ruben is leading still, which I'm actually a bit surprised because Ruben is strong, but can he keep ahead of Kevin Van Dijk? We'll see.
I'm not sure, but I will say Nico-san is doing a fantastic job. Something is telling me that there is setup differences between Kevin and Ruben and Nico-san, because no offense to Nico-san, but he's not on the level of these two drivers, yet he's keeping with them and is arguably looking at the fastest of these three on this current stage of the race. So I have a feeling that either he's running higher wings or lower wings than them to be able to keep with them somehow. But Toro, the longer he stays out of that DRS range of Nico-san, the more time he's going to lose compared to these front guys by not having that DRS, and that will be crucial. Kevin is deploying that ERS battery. He wants to get this move done. He's decided actually to back out of it in the end. I'm not exactly sure why you deploy that much ERS if you knew you were going to just back out anyway. Sounds like a bit of a waste of battery to me. Bit of a lock up for Tiaz there. He has actually got back past ahead of. He's got back ahead of Toro. So he's now going to be doing the Tiaz train. It's not the trolley train. It's a Tiaz train, and he's going to be stopping off at the next stop, which is indeed the last sector of the Texas circuit here in Austin. But yeah, I mean, this race is shaping up to be a good one. I am feeling, yeah, it's definitely going to be a one-stop. If people are starting on a mix of medium and hards, yeah, I think a one-stop will be the way to go. We might see one or two people try a medium, hard, medium, but I don't think it'll be necessary, and I think we should see some fun action. But we're now coming through turn one to complete another lap. 4 laps completed, 24 remaining, and it's looking good.
It is indeed, as Kevin Van Dijk still behind Ruben Hernandez. I think what he wants to do here, because Kevin Van Dijk is currently harvesting, aka charging his battery up, because Ruben is doing the exact same thing. So I wonder if Kevin Van Dijk is waiting for Ruben to make a mistake or something. So that's probably, I think he backed out there for a reason, maybe. Like, will Ruben make a mistake? We'll find out. It's Kevin is just waiting and waiting, but at some point he needs to overtake because he's just holding up some other cars. Nico-san is not in trouble with his teammate, with Tiaz, with a yellow flag around the back of the straight for someone else. And I think that is Arthur Williams.
Yes, Jens, I believe, has spun on the exit. Toro now getting back past Tiaz on the straight. It seems like that's going to be a big battle in this race, because I think that unless we get a safety car, Toro's race is definitely ruined. Not ruined, actually. I'll take that back, and I'll say he's not getting on the podium on pure pace now because he's out of the DRS of those front guys, and without it, you probably lose half a second to 7 tenths per lap just off of that. So he could be a second a lap quicker than those guys, but he just won't have the overspeed to be able to get. As we look at the best gainers, you want to call them, over the course of this opening stage of a race. Botti up 7 positions, Serban up 6, Werner up 4 into the top 10. He's the biggest gainer on the top 10. Toro and Nico-san also making up ground, but I mean Melvin is definitely the ultimate stinker. He's dropped a bomb on us, but it's not a good one. As well as Arbiter, yeah, you mentioned him as well. He's not had the best of times here.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best time, but it can catch up. But for Arbiter and Melvin, without a safety car or something, their race is pretty much, well, not over and done with, because everyone gets points. Due to our point system different to what other leagues run to, we use everyone gets points. We use the NASCAR point system, so as long as Melvin finishes, he gets points. But I'm sure he wants to get ahead. But right now,
I'll take who else wants to get ahead. Yeah, here we go. Move for the lead though. Kevin has overtaken Ruben into turn 12. I saw him shaping to that move and he's gone for it.
What recovery. Melvin almost driven into the back of Anime F1 as well. His upload to 19th place, but I don't think it was clean. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We're also looking at Alex Carroll here. Yellow flags again in sector 2. It seems like we're getting a lot of errors being made in this race from drivers towards the back or in the mid-pack of this race. And what's worrying me now is that Ruben lost half a second to Kevin in that first sector, and now he's deploying the RS, I think, to get right back up to the back of him. I think he must have made some sort of error, because I don't remember seeing that gap go that high in the early stages of this race when he was being overtaken. So something tells me either his tyres are going off or Kevin's safety is better, and that could be a good indication, as Tiaz is now gaining quite a bit on those guys, and I think Toro has kind of seen that and he's kind of pulled along with him, but he's also out of DRS range, so Tiaz could be in this three-way scrap for the lead and making it a four-way scrap for the lead in a couple of laps time, maybe even 1 lap's time, considering, look, he's just out of every single traction zone. He's right there, and although he'll lose time on this race due to DRS, which is now going to allow Ruben to overtake Kevin. So 2 moves in 2 laps, and they exchange positions. Ruben takes the lead again into turn 12 with a DRS overtake. I'm still surprised we haven't seen any moves into this up-and-coming corner. I think maybe on the last lap, if a driver is stuck behind, we may see such a move. But yeah, watch out for Tiaz and watch out for these two in case they continue to battle.
Yep. Tiaz, I was going to say Tiaz is got a penalty now because he is pushing track limits. That's not going to help him at all for Tiaz. As you said for Ruben, one of his lap times was a 1:37.6 when Kevin was a 1:36.5. That was lap 6, so he did fall off, but Kevin's lap was 1:38.4. So either he made a mistake or they're just going like their race pace is different. The on type of 7 laps, so it's going to start to fall off for that time.
Yes, it is, and that is being proven by the fact that Tiaz is now well within that DRS range of Nico's son, and he will be looking at that rear end and thinking, you know what, I want a piece of that, and I want a piece of that third place position as well, because if it's 2 Red Bulls versus a McLaren in the pit window, in the strategy, that's a very hard thing to work against. But Nico's son has saved up the battery. He knew he had the threat from behind, so he should be safe just for now. But that extra mechanical grip from those hard tyres, I can't see him staying ahead of him any longer than maybe lap 10, lap 11. As further behind, Werner making up positions in this race. He was a good gainer off the start. He was making up positions off the line, and that's another one for him up into P7 there.
Yeah, as Werner doing well in the Haas. Doing another pit stop on Anime F1 for his second pit stop, I think, of the race. No, that's the first pit stop. I apologize for that. So early pit stops might be damage for Anime F1. It's just not going well. Also, as Melbourne gets up into 17th place here. Oh, that's why he touches in the wall. And it's off the front wing. That's why Melbourne's up to 17th. So Strucci has made a mistake.
Unfortunately for Dutchy, and he's struggling to get back on the circuit there while keeping everything under control. Tiaz, though, look at that. He is searching. He is prowling. He is hunting the back of that Aston Martin. He wants that move. He wants to get up into a place where not only can he help his teammate, but help himself, because he's also in the starter battle. I'm not exactly sure how far ahead or behind the drivers are, but he might even shape for a move into this hairpin here. Decides to back out of it in the end, but we have DRS on this next straight, and if I was him, I would be depleting that entire battery just for the opportunity to try and overtake Nicoson. But I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to make a move unless he absolutely sends it into the corner, which would be far too risky considering he's in a championship battle. Arbiter getting a time penalty. Sorry, my voice has completely gone. I apologise.
Well, I could sort of say soft compound tyres. What is he doing? That's the wrong tyre, I'm afraid, sir. If anyone at Tiaz might make a move, actually, hang on. They're side by side, they make contact. Please don't make a spin. Oh my, that was close. You can just stay ahead, but just that little bit. That was close.
Nicoson doing what he's allowed to do there. He was just saying, this corner is mine, I'm going to take the racing line, and you're not. That was completely legal from Nicoson there, and he's just sending a message to Tiaz. He's saying, you're going to have to work hard to get this position, my friend, even if I am slightly slower. than the front two, and I'm not as fast as your teammate or as the McLaren. You're going to have to work hard, but it doesn't help when you make mistakes like that. You've got to keep it on the black stuff, and you've got to keep it on the racing line, more importantly, because otherwise Tiaz will hunt you down. He will just go around you like you're standing still. He is that fast of a driver. And when you get up to this top level, you need to make every single lap, every single apex, every corner count. And I mean, at the moment, he's doing all he can do with the current situation with the dirty air and the tyre situation. But I have a feeling that he is the fastest car in this front four. But he just can't show his pace because of the dirty air, because of his inability to get by on the straight. If I was him, I'd save up the battery until about 100% and then go. I'll tell you who else is going for it. Kevin into the head of him. Nicely done from the Red Bull. And now he might try and back up these guys to make it easier for Tiaz to get around those guys around him. Yellow flags. How's that been? Is that Toro and Alex? Toro and Alex. That was a 3 second. Nicholson is going to be inside of Ruben there. He's really upsetting the establishment here, but I think Ruben's going to do it to him. Well, no, he's not going to do it to him 1-1. Nicholson's just gone round the outside. He's done what Tiaz can't do. That is a fantastic move, and I think we're going to have lap traffic play into play here. And Kevin might benefit from this, because I think Kevin's got DRS. No, he hasn't got DRS actually. Just about didn't get it, but if he hadn't done, I'll tell you what, 8 tenths the gap was, it would have been a potential, like, it would have been a break for him to get out of the DRS of the guys around him. But if Nicholson is saving those tyres better than Ruben, or if Ruben let him go up the inside and got caught napping, I mean, that says more about Ruben than it does about Nicholson. Good job from the Aston Martin. We always say that Nicholson has 1 or 2 races a season where he is genuinely up in podium contention, and this is one of those. He's very much a Nico Hulkenberg. People see him as a consistent midfielder who can occasionally pull out top-level performances, and he is exactly doing that today.
Oh, contact! Ruben's 4th flight, Tiaz gets ahead and up into 3rd place, but
Tiaz needed to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. He needed to make that move at some point, and he's done it now. The only problem is the DRS range. He needs to make sure he gets back into that DRS range. Luckily, because the guy in front of him is Nicholson, and because of I was going to say because of his less dirty air from being further behind, he was going to have a better time of things. But no, Ruben is like, you wanna send some aggressive moves on me. I'm going to send some aggressive moves on you right back and make it an absolute nightmare for you trying to get back up to the lead. But unfortunately for Ruben, I think those tyres have gone completely off the cliff. I think he's pushed those a little bit too hard, my friend. Yeah, you can see it's all over the place. They are all in the pits. All 3 of them are in the pits. Kevin, Nicholson and Ruben. So Tiaz will take the lead on his hard tyres. He spent some laps in dirty air, but now he's got a clean track to push into.
This is going to be interesting as well. Yeah, I was going to say that Ruben has started the drop pace because of the tyres, but now he's on fresh air hard. He could pick it up again, potentially to the end. Potentially.
I'm guessing that these guys will go to the end because hard tyre, like medium tyres wear reasonably well on this game. But hard tyres, you can usually take them to a very good percentage of the race distance. Like, for example, I did a race around Brazil yesterday, and I think I did 23 laps, which is about 66% race distance on hard. And that is DNF that was in the pits. So there'll be no safety car there. Alex is attempting to make a move on Toro here. He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS. This should be a fairly easy overtake. Toro is pushing him right to the limits of the circuit. That's a bit borderline, especially considering he was moving as a reactionary move, but Alex has got by. I don't really see how he can complain of that exactly. But now, yeah, this is the problem that Nicholson's going to have. He's got Kevin right in front of him. But actually, no, I was going to say that they were stuck in traffic. They're not stuck in traffic. They've got an 8.8 second gap to Botti, who is the next car along. And Ruben is following him behind, a bit slower and a bit further behind. But Nicholson is very much in this leading fight. It will just be about where does Tiaz come out onto the circuit. Botti gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Alex and Toro into the back.
Too fast for the finish for a 10-second penalty. He was pushing They were literally side by side, and I think Toro forgot to use the brakes, I'm afraid, and that's not going to help him now.
Yes, he'll be out of the leading battle now, at least maybe not on track, but definitely in terms of final results. But yep, that is him into the box. Tiaz still staying out on those hards. I have a feeling he's going to go into the battle lap 16, lap 17, and try and wait for these hards to just not go off, but it's like a best before date and a use by date. You have some food products you buy, they have a use by date, and you can't use them past a certain point. There are some products where it has a best before, where you can still use it, and they'll still be all right up until a certain point. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to wait until the guys on the hards right now are on their best before date, not until they're on their use by date, which is when the tyres are screaming for help and they have no grip. But I'll tell you who is going to be searching for at least some. Maybe he won't be going searching the Tesco shelves, but he's searching for a potential overtake on Kevin. He's saved up his battery, and this is what Nico seems to be good at, which is making me believe he has lower wings than the guys around him. Now, low wings is meta in this game. It's very much the case that if you can run low wings and make it work, it is a faster way to drive because you can hold track position, you can stop people from overtaking you, and you can save ERS and fuel. I did a race at Mexico, for example, and saved 3 laps of fuel without any safety cars, and I wasn't lifting and coasting at all. That's just how much you can save from running a low downforce setup, and I think that's what's working for Nico here, because he's also a squirmish from some of the exits of these corners.
He was using the ERS battery a little bit, but he's still keeping it around the 9%, 8% time. I think he wants to use it on the straight seriously. I think that is just lap. Yeah, anime again for the second time about him, I think.
It's not a good day for anime regardless, even if it's his first time or second time. He shouldn't have been lapped on lap 14 in a equal cars race. But I have a feeling, unless Kevin has a lot of battery in the bank, I have a feeling we may see an overtake for the net lead here. He's got a little bit, to be fair to him, he's got a good amount, but it's not Nico. Nico's can deploy for this entire straight and not even twice. Whereas Kevin has a little bit less in reserve, and I think that Nico's might be going for this. And I think Kevin's fully aware of that fact. Unfortunately for Nico's, I think he decided to back out of that one, but let's have a look at that. Let's grab a quick another look at that DRS deficit. So Nicholson's on 90%. What's Kevin on now? Because he had to deploy on that straight.
60%.
60. So another 30%. If Nicholson just keeps chipping away at Kevin, keeps saying, I am here, you will have to put up with me, I think that Nicholson, and Niels needs to remember you should never, ever be at 100% battery. You should always be at 99, because if you're at 100%, it means you are wasting battery, because you gain it by lifting off and braking, and if you are on 100%, it means you can't gain any while lifting or braking, so you could have used that on the previous straight and then got back up to 100%. So you should always make sure you're at between, I'd say 90 and 95% is an ideal way, maybe up to about 97, but you never want to be reaching the figure of 100%. Here we go.
9%, 80%, that's what he's doing, but in the last 2 laps of the same corner, I noticed battery was at full, but Kevin is like a 10% deficit now. He's harvesting the battery, but he shouldn't be, because what's there to harvest, not more. You just not try to overcharge the battery, you can't do that, but okay, 15% deficit, let's find out when it's going to take soon. Well, I think it's advantage Kevin Van Dijk, because they're both using ERS, and Kevin is strong, but Nico's half the battery down, 29% for Nico's side, 41% for Kevin, so 8% difference. By the end of the DRS, Nico's side, Kevin goes wide.
Kevin does go wide. I was about to say that Nico doesn't look like he was shaping for him into the corner anyway. Yes, I thought that he should have gone for it. He was very conservative and backed out of it. I thought he should have gone for it. Never mind, because Kevin's made a mistake, and that has nearly allowed Ruben to get by. Now, Nicholson looks a lot faster immediately off the mark than Kevin is at the moment. So if he can push and get out of that DRS race, it could be fantastic for him. But I don't think he's going to do it. I think Kevin has now finally got his race back under control. And with DRS, you should be able to just... It's annoying that the DRS strokes on the circuit, if you're the leader, the DRS strokes on the circuit are literally halfway, like they're perfect opposites of, like, one's halfway through the lap and one is at the start of the lap. So it's not like you can pull away. There are certain circuits where they're all at the end of the lap or they're all at the start of the lap. And you can usually, like, you have a good, like, 3/4 of the lap to be able to pull away from the other drivers and try and get out of that 1 second window. But here, it's just not possible. And unless you are some sort of god or you want to wear your tyres out through the first second, it's not happening and you're not getting that advantage. Unfortunately for Nico, that's the problem. He's going to have to suffer. But the one thing he won't have now is dirty air. And he'll be able to push into that gap that he's got in front of him and not have to worry. Unfortunately, though, he has gone off the exit of that corner, and that's going to leave him wide open to an attack from Kevin here. If I was to might defend the inside so he can keep the position, but I don't think he's going to be enough. I think he might just slot a second here. I think we might see a Ruben at the inside, a wild Spaniard. No, unfortunately, Ruben has decided to sensibly kind of back out, I suppose. But Nico's back into a net second place. He's still doing a very good job. If Kevin and him keep making errors, though, then Ruben, who we know is a perfectionist and a surgeon in the fact that he hardly ever makes errors. Ignore all of the first half of the season, basically. But most of the time, he doesn't make errors. It's just that he's been having a bit of a hard time with things this season. It looks like he's finally got to grips.
Yeah, like you said, ignore the first half of the season. Yeah, it's flying down to heaven. But yeah, ignore the first half of the season. Compared to now, he's definitely gone quicker. And I think he can challenge P4, but the podium, that's going to be great for him. He can challenge the podium as well. He's currently net third place because TS and Booty still need to pit. So technically he is on the podium minus the pit stops right now. But we've got 12 to go, so we'll see what we can do. He's just going to stay in the DRS, the little 3-car train, or will he make a move?
Yeah, he's not really got a choice at the moment, unless Nico makes another mistake. And I mean, he's quite far, he's actually a little bit farther behind Kevin than I expected. But unless Nico makes a major error like he did a couple of laps ago, I think that he's safe because he's got that DRS to Kevin. Tiaz, I'm guessing, will come in at the end of this lap because I don't see any reason why those hard tyres will be any better than the new set of mediums. And he'll want to get track position crucially because he's also, while these guys have been sitting in the DRS of each other, he's been sat out in front on his own. And that will be a lot of time lost. And I believe that although he could still come out ahead of Toro, I think that a podium is off for him unless he absolutely charges back up to these lot. And I think, although it's possible it's not, he has pitted.
Yeah.
You can see him on that.
No way! He's oversteered in the pit. He's got a penalty as well. That's ruined. That's changed the storyline completely. What is going on?
So he's now fighting Toro for sixth, or for provisional fifth or fourth.
Would he come out ahead? No, he'll come up behind the Alpine as well, probably. No, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So unfortunately for him, he is right behind Alex Carey, but he should be able to dispatch that car possibly even instantly. As I think Ice Gensier had a bit of a bad time with things. But,
well, what is that, mediums?
But yeah, so we're still back on board with this fight for a net first. Is now currently second place. Nico-san breaking the toe from Ruben. I'm not exactly sure why you do that because he's also stopping himself from getting the slipstream off of Kevin. It's a very puzzling strategy, that one is for me. Yeah. But Ruben is burning through his DRS, and I don't know a reason why, because all he's going to do is catch back up to Nico, so get a bunch of dirty air, and there you go, you get a bunch of DRS for no reason. Look, Nico was basically like dragging Kevin through that corner, but now Tiaz round the outside of Alex Carew. Carew's going to force him out. That is completely legal, but I think Tiaz is going to get him on the entrance here, and he's going to try and get top. Very, very audacious attempt. But I think he's going to get it done here. I'm not sure which one of them sent it in there. I'm not sure if Hollow sent it in too deep or if Tiaz took a bit of an aggressive line there. But they are both fighting for it. Toro, I don't see why he's doing this. Actually, no, I do see why he's doing this because his teammate is fighting for the win. I do see why he's doing this now. And he is doing a good defensive job. Everything he's done so far has been completely legal because he has a choice of like, I'm going to overtake this, however, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about weaving on a straight. That's allowed Alex Carew to go the inside. And now this is causing problems for Tiaz because what he'll be doing is in his head he'll be going, you are, and then he'll be putting a lot of expletives into the plate of Toro's name. And that will cause him to make possibly a stupid error or run into him, or because he's also facing the pressure from Alex Carew behind. Remember, these two are technically also fighting for on-track positioning, so Toro has a right to defend his position. He's not like he's under blue flags, or it's not like he's being he is being overly aggressive. I think that weaving on a straight is a bit unacceptable. But everything else he's done so far has been fine. Here we go, he's covering off again. But I think that, yeah, Tiaz has finally got it. Unless Toro decides to send a kamikaze dive on into here, I think the position has been finally gotten by Tiaz. And I think Toro's done his job as teammate to Ruben there, trying to hold back Tiaz. Now, unless Tiaz gains at 2 seconds a lap, he will not be able to get the win or the lead because of that 10-second time penalty. Without it, we could be looking at a different story, but with it, unfortunately for him, I don't think we're going to see different, which is a real shame.
Where did Boaty go to pit? He's still staying out on the same tyres.
I think I have no idea what he's doing. His car gets another 3 seconds. I think Boaty's waiting for a safety car.
Is he trying to go for the salt or something?
No, I think he's...
That won't be him.
Do I think you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think he was going straight from a hard start. I think he is trying to go for the start. Again, he could be going hoping for a safety car with around here. Not very likely, but it's never zero.
True, there's a low chance of a safety car or a safety car, but the longer he leaves it, the more chance to get a puncher as well. But just look at how Kevin Van Dijk is gaining on him as well for good measure. Look at that gap, just faster, just going down and down. Kevin Van Dijk is literally going to fight for the actual race lead.
That is the issue that Boaty's going to have. I have a feeling that if he doesn't quit at the end of this lap, he is just waiting for a safety car. But that's the problem. We've had many drivers spin, go off, but only one DNF that was in the pit lane. We've not had any on-track retirements because you have to go quite far off circuit at this track to actually hit anything. The walls are fairly far removed from the circuit, and unless you go off on a straight, you're very he is finally making his way into the box. Basically, you can avoid the speeding penalty.
What is going on? Penalties now. There's now 4 drivers have done that same thing. You've got both TTS, Toro and Pimshu with that penalty as well. He does go to a set of medium compound tyres, so that is mediums to the end. But Kevin Van Dijk is race leader once again. But Nico-san and potentially Ruben can fight for it because 9 seconds separating the top 3 from the leader.
Yes, I think you mean 9/10, but yes, that is the case, and it is so close up there. Kevin is doing a good job. He's saving that battery. Just say that he deploys a little, but he's saving that battery overall. He's not overly spending it. They're about the same levels between him and Nico-san, which is a bit different from a couple of laps ago. Ruben's slightly down on battery consumption or battery availability. DRS wide open for Nico-san, but yeah, he's just stuck in this limbo phase where unless he to get back to 100% battery like he did that one time when Kevin made a mistake, he's not going to be able to do anything as Ruben is now staying the DRS of Kevin. A little bit of a wobble there through the hairpin, and now for some reason Ruben just tried to nose him through that corner. I think he's trying to get him out of DRS, and just by fighting him a little bit, but not enough to properly unsettle him.
Nico-san's got DRS.
He's not going to be in DRS range. There's no way. He's probably struggling, and now he's going to deploy back to try to get back in Kevin's DRS, and that will lose him time in the long scheme of things. But can he do it? That's the problem he has. He's losing time on the exits. Either his tyres are going off or he's finally run out of talent. because he's done such a good job to get to where he is right now. I wonder if he's run out of talent, and finally, if Kevin's managed to pull away and found something that clicks with him in this race, because Nicholson is still not in that window that he needs to be in. Even despite a purple first sector from Nicholson, he's not done enough to get back in the DRS.
No, they've been on the tyre, they've been on the cars for 10 laps, so all top three are the same. But Ruben is now starting to fall off because Nicholson is using ERS now. The other track in the first, in the fast sector, I'm not worried about that, it's more the Ferraris. But yeah, Nicholson, no, Ruben's still trying to go on. We're on board with Nicholson right now. He is back in DRS race, but can he stay with it until that detection zone just for the proper corner?
Meanwhile, Alex Caruth overtakes Toro into the hairpin. Nicely done from him. I'm pretty sure some of the guys at the front will be wanting to do that such easily. But the DRS isn't powerful enough around here. This is, you'll hear my annual DRS rant from Nebzo here, because it just proves how stupid the system it is. You have a system where it's arbitrary where the lines are, because the FIA decided every single year, oh, it was too powerful last year, so we're going to make it less powerful this year, but it's now you can't pass. But then we'll make it more powerful again, and then it's easy to overtake. And I'm so glad that we're getting rid of this here in real life F1. What do you say?
Yeah, both of the fast part of the race, with DRS getting disabled, getting taken away completely, it is going to change story for IRL F1 and for the next game as well. F1 26, so yeah, pretty much DRS is like, it's giving you extra speed, but realistically, it's like you're a sitting duck. Yeah, anyway.
The only problem I have with the new system is that it's probably going to be worse, because nowadays, the reason why cars can't overtake each other is not just because they're really fast and they create a lot of dirty air, but because they have such good aerodynamic efficiency. That's why, even though Monza has straight into really tight corners, because when you run the cars at low wind, they go through the air so efficiently and they're so smooth going through the air. There's no, like, the car behind, it has hardly any, being in the DRS is like a couple of miles an hour, and it's just not enough time gain. So the fact that they're going to have active aero, which will essentially allow teams to run Monza level aero on the straight, I think it's going to make it just as bad. I think it's going to make it just as bad for overtaking. I don't think they thought the regulations set through, because they don't. Stefano Domenicali, a man who won however many times, actually no, he didn't win. I take that back. He didn't win a single title with Ferrari, and he has now decided that Formula 1 cars now going to defy the laws of physics and just somehow create dirty air, or create what's called air out of nowhere that people can overtake in. It's not going to work. And we're going to get to the first race of the season in Australia. I think it's in Australia next year. And no one's going to be able to overtake.
That's true, but obviously when they do the pre-season testing, that's when they first tested it out. But again, when you say for the first race in Melbourne in IRL, we'll probably see how it works then. But like you said, that everything you just said about that so far might be true, but you never know, because people think you don't know until you try it. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I never tried, but I know that they're not going to be good. Anyway, DRS is available and activated for Nicholson. 5 laps to go here in Kota. It's been Kevin Van Dijk leading most of the way. Nicholson did take over, I believe, for a couple of laps. Ruben has also been in this fight, but as I said, we are just waiting. He's waiting for Kevin to make another mistake, and we all know Kevin loves a mistake, especially when he's leading a race with lots of drivers chasing him from behind, as Toro and Botti fight over 6th place. But behind them, I mean, these three have been very clean. I'm not sure if they have any track limits warnings, but these three have been very clean. Meanwhile, 13 seconds, 6 seconds, 13 and 16. And then everyone behind, everyone from 11th down, also having track limits penalties. I mean, it's good. I mean, Werner even could still get a surprise 6th place if he can keep on pace with Toro and Botti.
Yeah, Ruben has got one warning so far. Nicholson's got something by their lap time, but Kevin Van Dijk, I've not seen one lap time valid or any warnings. But apart from this one wide bit, he's to fight. Ruben's got a 3-second penalty now as well. That's not great one. Might help because everyone else has got 13 seconds. That penalty might not even do anything to Ruben. He might stay P3 after that.
And we're going to get his curse then for Ruben, unfortunately for him. As soon as we talk about track limits, he gets that limits violation. And yeah, I mean, it was unlikely that he was going to be able to pass Nicholson because Nicholson is trying to pass Kevin, and Kevin doesn't have DRS. But Ruben's got a car that also has DRS in front of him, so I don't think that he would have had much of a chance anyway. But I tell you what, Nicholson gains a lot in that braking zone, and I have a feeling that on the final lap, if he decides, you know what, I'm just going to send it. I think he can. I think he can get far enough alongside Kevin to say that was a legitimate move, or into here. I've not seen anyone make an attempted move. Oh, sorry, we just call it in that corner. But into that hairpin, I am so excited for the moment that I see someone dive at the inside into that hairpin. And I'll tell you what, Kevin's going to get DRS here because the lapped car of Anime, I think it's Anime, is going to.
Yeah.
He's going to let him by. He's lifted off on the straight. He knows what he's doing, I think, because as soon as he's given him DRS, he's let him by, which is a very peculiar strategy considering they're not on the same team. And I don't believe they are any sort of affiliation or acquaintances. So that's quite strange. But oh well. We have 3 laps to go now here in Texas, and I don't think we're going to see a magical move from Nicholson unless he just sends it into one of these braking zones.
Yeah, that's true, but yeah, we'll see. But like you said on the last lap, either he'll be like, nope, I'm not doing P2, or if I was him, I'd say, yeah, I'm just going to send it on the last lap, because if you're not going to send it, then what's the point of being here if you're not going to send it down the inside of the last lap? Because every time he exits the out here, it just gets closer and closer each time. Now it's like 3/5 of a second miles. I was like, that's it. OT up into P5 now, but we're looking at the top 2 here. It's literally close. Really got. If Nicholson does not get ahead of Kevin by like 5 US zone by lap 28, then it's over.
I will say, by the way, Tiaz has gained the square root of nothing on these three drivers. I'm very surprised though, because he came out of the pits about 7.5 seconds behind, and he was on fresh mediums compared to quite old soft. We talked about the best before days. They were definitely on their best before days, and he's only gained about 1.5 seconds. Either he got damaged while he was the pit lane, or before then, and we just didn't see, or he's just those mediums are just plain slow. I don't see how that could be the case. But something tells me that something isn't fully right with Tiaz's car. Either that, or once he got the 10 seconds, stop pushing, and he was just like, okay, I'm not going to force.
Yeah, because look at the pit stop. He has not replaced any front wing. So I think it's essentially a penalty. It's like, yeah, seriously, I'm not going for that anymore. But we'll see where he drops to, because Boaty and Alex are surely going to have less. And same for Toro, he's also got a 10-second penalty as well. And the Haas of Werner has not got a penalty. Same. Oh, whoa! What's going on there? Nicholson.
So it was Ruben who just got a massive snap of oversteer off the exit of the hairpin. Luckily for him, I mean, he wasn't in the... Nicholson, no! He should have sent it there. He should have sent it there. He had the overspeed to be able to do it, but now he's gonna tuck him in. He's too conservative, man. You need to go for gaps when you have them. You get one of those opportunities once in a race, and you just need to take the advantage when you have it. As Kevin is now backing him right up. Either Kevin's tyres have gone off, or Nicholson is faster at this point in the race. Nicholson, he should have taken that opportunity as soon as he should have sent that move as soon as he saw him there.
If it was the last lap, nice. If it was the last lap, yeah. But like I say, he shouldn't make the move, but he has to do it this lap, or we are going to, Kevin's going to take another top step off the podium. Showing us, of course, of the pit one last time. But yeah, this is literally their final chance. 50% battery for Nicholson, 35% for Kevin Van Dijk. So it needs to be now, not now, but it needs to be with that DRS sign, but we'll see. As there are a couple more corners away from it.
They are indeed a couple more corners away from that acceleration zone, that straight. No mistakes for Nicholson. He needs no mistakes through this section. Yellow flag since that's a 1. Hopefully that's not going to be. It's not going to affect. That's a win for the front. Come on. We're all rooting for Nicholson.
He's now.
He's like
now. Come on.
Underdog. He's made a little. He was a little bit tentative on the power there. He's got DRS. He's got ERS. He needs to deploy it all the way down the straight. But this is not the last overtaking spot. This is not the last overtaking spot. Oh, he's made contact with Kevin there, and I think that should be. If he'd have kept it behind, if he'd have kept it close to him, he could have tried to move into here. And he's going to try it anyway, but yeah, that's not happening. Ruben trying to move on him, and that's done better. I'll move from Ruben. Yeah. Good effort from Nico's son. But, I mean, it's been a good race from Kevin as well. He's basically just kept them at bay. He's kept them at arm's reach and just said, you know what, I don't need to push super hard. I made one mistake and I managed to recover. So, Kevin is going to come round the final corner to win here in Kota and take another win in his VDRL Season 10 campaign. Good job from him. Nico's son comes under a valiant second place finish. Ruben third. And I'll tell you what, in terms of championship permutations, Tiaz finishes 5th. I don't because of the penalties. I don't know where his pace went in that stint that he did on those medium tyres. That was not a good run from him. Werner, let's see how many man games. Toro Gionet.
No, he left.
Oh, it's glitch. Never mind. So, the problem is though, where was he going to finish? Because Werner was right on the edge.
I think it was 7.
I'm not sure if Werner was going to. If Werner was going to beat him, we'll have to see. But as everyone else crosses the line, Arbiter, Froby, Vasta, Serban, Osman, that is a big race for the championship. Because if I look at the standings now, after Great Britain, the gap going into this race was 12 points, and I'm not exactly sure on the point standings, but I think that's about. I think that's a 20-point loss. I think that the 5th place is worth 30 points. That rings a bell. So it's going to be a 32-point difference, I think, by the end of this. Or after this race is fully decided, unless there's penalties, which I don't think there will be. Because I don't think there was any 30 conduct from any of the drivers. But yeah, we'll quickly run you through the race order, and then we'll to the interviews once we've seen the drivers come out onto the podium, and we'll run you through the provisional finishing order. Obviously, stewards may alter that at a later date with penalties and problems probably for drivers behind, because apart from Toro's aggressive weaving, we didn't really see anything that would really be considered as terrible driving. Boaty taking a clean sweep of fastest lap driver day and most takes, but Kevin is our race winner, followed by Nico's son, such a strong effort to take 2nd place, and it's Ruben, Alex Caru, Tiaz in 5th place, Boaty, Werner, Luzcek, Remus, Arbiter rounding out the top 10, then it's Froby, Vasta, Serban, Osman, Toro, oh no, it shouldn't be Toro, Toro should be up in 7th, I apologise, then Gensier, Butchie, Pim Shooter, Anime, and the only DNF of the race, Melvin, who retired in the pits after a poor start. And wow, that was a fantastic race. It was a slow burner, and it wasn't your positions crazily, but it was just you were being kept on the edge of your seat by the potential of an overtake, a potential of great action, and we did get some properly good action there. So we'll move into the interview pair very shortly to talk to our top 3. We are now here with our top 3. Usually Nico's son doesn't turn up for interviews, but he didn't finish 3rd anyway, so we will move straight to our 3rd place finisher, Ruben. Never really got an eye in for the lead, unfortunately. But how was the race from your perspective?
I mean, a little bit boring. It was almost DRS changes at the end, not a lot of overtakes on my pub, only to Kevin and trying things with Nicholson, but yeah, I couldn't do anything more.
And towards the end, we saw you snapping away at the rears, particularly through the exit of the hairpin, going onto the long straight. Were your tyres just completely gone, or were you trying to push hell for leather to try and do anything to beat Nico-san, or to do anything to alter your finishing position?
I mean, I don't think it was a bit of a difference of tire wear or something like that. It was like a setup thing. I think all the time Nico-san and Kevin were getting better traction with the hards. With the mediums, no, I think it was me. But with the hards, I was slower in the tractions, and I think it was a setup problem. And maybe because it's true I pushed a lot. But yeah, I think the main thing is the
Yoshi, anything from you?
I don't think I do, because those questions that Nelson asked was pretty much what I was going to ask. But yeah, congratulations on P3 though. Your pace has definitely been better compared to the first half of the season. Is it like some setup changes to the old drivers, or like have you found more pace?
No, I mean, in this race it was in the whole season I won't be practicing at all. I don't have enough time to do it before the race. And all races I've been trying to race with outline, but this wasn't the case. Kota is a hard track to learn, to nail. And yeah, I did my race with line, and yeah, like last seasons, I am with line. I'm way better practicing only 4 laps than without line.
Okay.
YB, anything from you?
Yeah. How was the tire degradation of the last stint?
Of the last stint, it was perfect, to be honest. I mean, seeing the tire wear of mediums and of soft hards were way better. Like in the same lap time, in the same like laps of the mediums, hards were like 20% less or 15. So it was perfect. Hard.
And with those questions, we will move to our race winner, the man who has finally found his form after seasons of constantly being usurped by other drivers. And how does it feel to finally have a comfortable championship lead, Kevin?
It feels so good. It feels so good. After like 6 seasons, I think, I finally have a good form. I started this season with 6 podiums in a row, so I'm really, really happy so far with this season.
So obviously, not only did Ruben finish third, he's not really in the title battle. More importantly, your teammate Tiaz finished 5th and couldn't really do anything on those medium tires. How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I was very surprised because I think at one point the gap was like 8 seconds, I think, or 9, I don't know, and he didn't gain anything. And I thought if he doesn't gain, then he will not be faster in the end, because I think the mediums were slower in the end because of the tire wear. But yeah, I'm really happy that I finally got an easier win.
From my calculations, this puts you at 32 points clear of your teammate Tiaz in the Drivers' Championship. That's a very good. Like, you could miss. Ironically, you could do what he did and miss a race. And if he doesn't finish inside the top 7, I mean, he would. But you've got a very good gap. And I'm trying to figure out where this question is going because I've completely forgotten my train of thought. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Do you think that if he starts pulling out some good performances again, that you can beat him toe to toe, head to head?
Yeah, I think so. I only think the rain, if it rains, I think he will be faster because I don't like rain in this game. But I think on the dry, yeah, I can definitely beat him. I think in Miami, I was faster than him, I think.
Yeah. And I'm trying. Yoshi, do you have any questions?
Yes, in the last couple of laps, Nico-san was right behind you. Brilliant defending. Did you think he was going to take you in the last 4 laps or something?
To be honest, I constantly held the gap, I think at 7 tenths, so he couldn't overtake me on the straight. But I was a little bit worried about the last lap because I thought that he would save like always battery for the last lap. But actually, he tried it on the penultimate lap. He tried to overtake me, and luckily he failed. And then in the last lap, he tried it again, and he hit my back. I think. Yeah, he braked too late. I think.
Yeah, make contact. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I was in control because he was only one. I think I only had one chance to overtake me.
Okay, mate. Well, congratulations on the win once again.
Thanks.
YB, anything from your perspective?
Not really, but I just wanted to say congrats on your P1.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So that concludes action from Kota here today, but it doesn't conclude our action for the entire weekend, because tomorrow we will be hosting as VDRL, because we have reached 1,000 subscribers on our. Is it 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube
Members
channel, or
on
is it 1,000?
members on
1,000 members
Discord.
in Discord. I got it wrong. Never mind. 1,000 members in Discord. We'll be hosting a race tomorrow on Saturday at, I think it's 3 p.m. UK.
3 p.m.
It's 3 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Central European time. I will be competing, so you'll hear whoever is commentating trying to
I'll
roast
probably
me.
be commentating.
Trying to roast me, but I will win, so they won't be able to roast me. But yeah, hopefully you'll see some good action from a lot of VDRL drivers, and drivers who you wouldn't usually see, like me, because I'm too busy commentating and providing excellent action for you up in the booth. But now I've got that out of the way, it is finally time to conclude the stream. Hopefully you can catch us next week for some more exhilarating VDRL action, as I quickly flick through the calendar to see what the track is next time out. It is Mexico. It is, we'll go around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, and we will see just how things go. But without further ado, I'm Nedzo, and I'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye!